Moorlands Radio Sport, in association with Leek Building Society.
In there to bring you a live interview. Dave Stringer is with Josh Brehaut, the Leek manager.
A fantastic performance again, but unfortunately we've lost probably a player for the rest of the season. How is Mr. Scully?
Yeah, we don't know for sure, of course, but he doesn't look in a particularly good way. Such a shame for him. I thought he was outstanding on the day. The energy he brought to the team epitomised what we were about, really. I didn't want to come up here and start singling players out because, again, 1 to 11 and obviously the boys that have come into the game as well have been superb. The energy, the intensity in which they played the game at. I've asked for some specific things when we played against Prescot because I really feel that they've got some threats that concern me, and we've managed to nullify them incredibly well. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how Scully is. Obviously he'll go off to hospital now and have a scan, get an X-ray to determine the extent of the injury, but yeah, obviously he's gutted for him with only a couple of minutes to go, and the scoreline the way that it was for him to obviously pick up an injury that doesn't look too good.
Well, second team has come in recent weeks that's been the second in the table, first against second. You keep on having these games. I think Prescot actually gave you more problems here than Runcorn did, didn't they?
Yeah, they gave us more problems than they did at their place as well. They played or tried to play a lot more today than what they did in that game, which didn't come as a huge surprise because I think when teams come here they kind of go, let's make the most of the fact that we're playing on a good surface, and they are a threat, and the goalkeeper's got fantastic distribution, and that's something we've spoke about in great detail, and a lot of work on the training ground to ensure that their goalkeeper, as daft as it sounds, can't be their main playmaker with his distribution. As a byproduct of that, it meant that the team was quite spread at times in terms of our distances from back to front, which was a little bit of a risk, and occasionally they found some spaces, but no, from a tactical point of view I actually thought they caused us some problems in the first half, moved the ball quite well. However, what I will say is when we had to defend inside our own defensive third, once again we were exceptional defensively. They've had a strike that's hit the post from distance. Aside from that, crosses that have come into the box, Dino's dealt with them, the defence have dealt with them. They've been superb. So for all their sort of good play that they had in the first half, and yeah, we probably didn't deserve to be going in 2-0 up. We're so good defensively, we're so strong defensively that it must be incredibly difficult to play against.
You must be really pleased and proud that you've got such a great defensive back four, and a great keeper behind them as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it showed again today a much vaunted striker or strike force if you take Murphy and Sambor,
Yeah.
and they had no change out of that defence at all, did they?
No, and again that's two games in the space of a month against a team who create a lot of goal scoring opportunities who haven't created a massive amount. I think well, obviously Prescot had the best defensive record in the league up until today. I think if my math is correct that they'll have conceded the same number of goals as us now, which is incredible considering the where we were probably after 15 games and the number of goals we'd conceded at that point. So yeah, and again the defence and Dino have been incredible on this amazing run we've been on. But again, I've got to pay a huge amount of respect and credit to the lads at the front who are pressing like crazy, never stopped. The midfield players for them backing them up and doing the same, and we look an incredibly fit team. For the level that we play at, we look an incredibly fit team.
You do, and the first two goals had an element of luck about them, I suppose, because Keenan's, I think, prodded forward, took a couple of deflections, and Louis claiming the goal, but nevertheless it took a couple of deflections, and then the pressure, as you say, from Stevenson caused the panic which led to an own goal.
Yes, yeah, the second goal probably more so than the first, and the only reason I say that is because the first goal did come from our bright play. Scully and Rob got the ball back in play quickly from a restart, which I was incredibly sort of impressed about. They've switched on enough to do that, and then again it comes back to people being in the right positions. So we talk about having the box locked down, and Keynes is there. So as the crosses come in, I think he's picked up the second ball or the third ball, as it may have been. been in the right position and obviously managed to get himself an opportunity to put a ball or have a shot on goal. And I think, maybe he took a couple of nicks, but he's earned that look. We've earned that look by being switched on in the first place, I would say. Second goal, I think there's a huge slice of luck involved in that for us, but I'm not going to complain about that.
And certainly not knocking Louis Keenan being in the right place at the right time and scoring the goal and the play there. I was just thinking that Prescot would probably think they were unlucky to be 2 behind in how they were scored, but they can't complain about the third. The third was such a well-crafted goal and a superbly taken goal.
I thought we were much more solid in the second half. For as much as I've said there, we've been defensively solid. As I mentioned, the gaps in the first half were bigger than what I would like. I thought in the second half we managed to fix that, and we were much more compact. I never felt again under huge threat, even when they had the ball in our half. I actually felt like we were more likely to score given the spaces that they then had to give us. And Rob Stevenson's like a man possessed at the moment. He's just in the form of his life. He's just incredible. Obviously disappointed for him that he didn't get his goal today, but what he brought to the team was incredible. And Kari's been playing incredibly well as well, and obviously again it was a fantastic goal, good run in the first instance, to obviously get the ball in down the side, and he earned that because he put in an incredible shift as well. So between the two of them up there, they've just been causing carnage for teams. And I think we had over 30 goals on the bench today, with Trickett, Gricey, Aaron, 30 goals, and Riles as well has chipped in with a couple. So when you've got the opportunity to turn around and look at the bench and bring talent on like that, I feel incredibly blessed to have that luxury.
Moving on now to the game against Stoke City side, which is it a bit relaxed to have that as it's something totally different.
It's a nice game to look forward to, semi-final. We all like being involved in semi-finals. They're obviously much better if you win them. So really important now that the players rest well, recover well from now through till Tuesday. It'll be an interesting game. We'll obviously look forward to it and do some work between now and then on what we can do to try and find out a bit more about them. We were fortunate enough that Wardy was there last week in the game that they played against Stone last week. So again, we're well aware of the strengths that they'll have, the type of team that they'll be, given them being an under-21s group primarily, and equally I'm sure there'll be areas that we're going to try and exploit as well.
You're certainly not going to take it easy on Tuesday, are you?
No, absolutely not. And we'll definitely freshen things up. We've got a plan in place already with certain personnel to play in that game. So that's something that we'd kind of looked at the two games as a pair really, and thought how can we work that to maximise the squad that I've already mentioned. And we're not going to be taking it lightly. I think whatever 11 we put out there is an incredibly strong 11. We haven't got fringe players. We've got a really strong group of 16, 17 players.
As we said last week, you've got such a luxury of choice in certain positions anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So 7 more league games to go. Just a quick touch on those. You must now be smelling the trophy, but how are you dampening that down?
Yeah, so I think again, like I've said to you all along, really, it is one game at a time. Hensford next week will be really interesting. We're not obviously paying too much attention to that right now with the game on Tuesday, but Hensford obviously are backed really strongly in terms of their crowds. I believe there's going to be a big crowd in because it's non-league day with an offer of £5 a ticket or something. So I'm sure it'll be a really good occasion to be a part of. It'll obviously be good if we come away with 3 points, but it won't be an easy game. Of course, we've played them a couple of times, particularly in the league game here. They could have in the first half. They really frustrated us. Obviously under new management now. So no game's an easy game. I think it'll be probably the manager's third game, and they're in a dogfight, aren't they? They're a big football club who shouldn't be where they are in the league table. So we've got to make sure that we're switched on to that. But it's a good game to look forward to.
Well, the crowd let me down. I thought they'd be chanting, "We are top of the league," way before the end of the match. But we are top of the league, aren't we?
Yeah, we're still top of the league for now, and hopefully come a couple of games time we'll still be there as well.
Thanks very much, Josh.
Thank you, Dave.
That is Josh Brehaut, the manager of Leek Town, in conversation.
Moorlands Radio Sport, in association with Leek Building Society.